The Old School Rewind Podcast. The podcast about breakdance music.
So why is it got to be so damn tough?
Hip-hop and old school. The roots of electronic music. The Roland 808 and freestyle. This is the Old School Rewind with Randy Bubba Black on the Podcaster Online Network, Facebook.com. Search Old School Rewind and subscribe now at iTunes with all links at oldschoolrewind.com.
Wow, we've done 8 episodes. Here comes episode number 9 of the Old School Rewind. Got an original freestyle diva on the show this week. Connie.
You say 1 for the trouble, 2 for the time. Come on, y'all, let's break this.
Hello there. We're back again, the Old School Rewind. Randy Bubba Black, and a 30-year broadcast veteran from Central California. I do this podcast because I believe that old school should be right there in the pocket between 82 and 89-ish. And that's why I've started this show, because I'm a fan of it. The radio doesn't play it anymore, and those groups are still touring around, and we're pioneering. Still have a large following, and especially worldwide. So we'll have show notes up at oldschoolrewind.com and search Facebook to find us. Let's do this.
Rock me tonight. Rock me tonight. You move your body along with mine.
The queen of freestyle, Connie. Is that what they would term you?
Oh, no, I don't do that. No, there's a lot of them out there. Too many. I'm just Connie. One of the divas. One of the many divas.
One of the freestyle divas for sure, huh?
That's correct.
A lifelong diva, huh?
Yes, I guess I am. I'm one of the lucky ones, yeah.
Well, it's very nice to talk to you. We're right about the same age. I was there and I was rocking your stuff in action as a teenager, driving around Stockton, California in a lower mini truck, headed out to San Jose to check out the car shows. And Connie, your song reigns king in the East Bay and out this way as one of those first freestyle tracks that had a different sound. It's had to have been pretty good for you, especially if you had the right deal when you got hooked. I go, all right, wasn't it great to do? No, the guy screwed me, and I didn't get any money in this, that, and the other. And I think that's more to the often than it is to the not so often that I get that answer.
It is, and it's very sad, yeah, but very true, very true.
2 o'clock, the party's still going, and all my friends, they're ready to go. Turn around, though I smile at you. That's when you shine out, forget just what you want to do. I've been late, obviously, what I want to do to me. Why can't you see it's so easy? You and me just rocking with the beat. For that funky beat. For just you and me. Rocking in the streets. Rocking with that funky beat.
Was Funky Little Beat the first single?
When I recorded, first I auditioned for that particular song, believe it or not, out of, so many girls that auditioned to record that song. And, Henry Stone, he's a legend in the music business.
KC and the Sunshine Band. James Brown.
Please.
Absolutely. Executive producer, yeah, definitely an amazing man. And him and Amos Larkins, who was the producer of the song, decided to go with this little 21-year-old girl And, I just gave my age away. Whatever.
They'll have to go do the math. It's between you and me.
Don't do the math. Don't. I recorded that song, Funky Little Beat. That was the first song that I ever recorded in a studio, and that was the most amazing feeling because I've always, since I was a little girl, wanted to do that. And I just kept recording, and they stopped me. Okay, do it again. And I looked around. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm really doing this. This is, like, so cool. Never expecting to have this song go, nationwide. And then after that, international.
Let's start in the bedroom, and the brush is a microphone. How does Connie, where are you from?
That's right. That was Connie. I'm from Hialeah, Florida. It's a small town in Miami. I was raised by my mom and my dad, and they're Latinos. My dad was Cuban, and my mom is Ecuadorian. Normal childhood with my brother. Oh, he's older than I. He's 4 years older. Actually, it was my brother who inspired me, because my brother would turn on the radio every morning while he was getting dressed, and I was getting dressed to go to school. And back then, it was like the Beatles on the radio and some of these other groups. I'm like, oh, man, I just started getting into it. Then it was watching all these variety shows from back in the day. And during Christmas, it was Bob Hope.
Sure.
And
Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby. Oh, my gosh. And I said, oh, my God, I'd love to do that. I want to do that. And I really got excited about the whole music business aspect of it.
Sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas.
Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you hear silver bells.
Silver bells,
It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling,
hear them ring.
soon it will be
Christmas Day.
A lot of days you would find me with a little, hairbrush as my microphone, and I would just sing and sing and pretend that I was with Bob Hope singing songs, Christmas songs and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's how it started off.
How old are you at this time singing in a brush and realizing the Beatles?
I must have been about 6
Right.
or 7 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
I can trace back wanting to be a DJ right back to about 7 years old with a handheld recorder running around. And 30 years later, I ended up making a career out of it. And you too. So congratulations. We're all still here. How was school for Connie?
I never really cared for school.
How come?
I don't know. I just loved being home with my family. And every time that I would have to go to school, I just didn't care to get up. I'm not a morning person, so I hated that part of it. I was a really good student. I just didn't like the fact of getting up early to have to get a bus to then go to school, in the middle of, in the dark. I didn't care for that. I have always been a night person. So, yeah, you don't want to wake me up at 6 in the morning because I'm not the nicest person.
Oh, you and my wife.
That's funny. I was really good in school. A's and B's. And my brother, who loved going to school, Mr. Social Butterfly, was there just to socialize, and he'd be terrible. He would get C's and D's, and so go figure, right?
Where did you hear your first slow dance and think that a boy should be asking you to come dance? Where were you?
Oh, wow. I'm going to tell you, in first grade, there was a little boy, and I'll never forget his name, Kevin. His name was Kevin, and I thought he was the cutest little boy. And that was my first crush. Is that too young?
No, I think everybody's got one of those.
I don't know, but that was my first crush. I've always loved boys. I don't know when I really wanted them to ask me to dance. I guess I was, junior high. I guess that's for every girl. I don't know.
Where'd you find, and how did you progress from into high school musically, somewhere you didn't want to go? Did you take music classes or just sing at home? Or
During my junior high school years, I knew that what I wanted to do was perform. So I said to myself, I need to do something about this. So I went ahead and I registered for drama, and I registered for choir.
She's a thespian.
Yes, I did both. The drama, it helped tremendously. Get up there, and okay, now do this and do that, and that really, really helped. I tell that to anyone because a lot of people say, oh my God, I love performing, I love singing, but I'm scared to be in front of a crowd. Well,
take a drama class and that stops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
When you have to get up there and pretend you're a chicken or something, yeah, that kind of like takes care of it.
Drama class has that effect on people to fix that.
Well, that was difficult because, I mean, you're talking about a girl that had no connections in the music business at all, okay?
How do you get interested to where you start technically recording music?
My brother, again, had a lot to do with it because he was older and he started working at a radio station.
What kind of radio station? Shout out.
It was I-95 in Miami, which was a pretty big radio station at the time. You know, he became friends with a few people, and one of them was John Aguillo, who's from Erotic. He has his own band, Erotic Exotic, and he had some freestyle hits as well. But before he actually had these hits, he was working at the warehouse where Henry Stone had his studio. And at the time that he was friends with my brother, he says, hey, do you know anyone? We're trying to get, an artist for the song. And he's like, well, my sister sings. She's always liked singing. And he's like, oh, get her. You got to talk to her. And my brother, at the time I was going to college. And he kept telling me, hey, yeah. I'm like, yeah. But there's a lot of people, a lot of stories you hear about all these people that are going to make you a star. So I didn't really pay too much attention. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get to it.
Harvey Weinstein, we're finding out, right?
Oh, yes. I'm glad I didn't run into him.
It's sort of a surprise, especially out in Florida. That's sort of the signature thing out there. They're notorious out there for that type of stuff. But maybe that was a little bit later, past the New Kids days and the Backstreet days and whatnot.
No, it's been around for many years, and a lot of worse things that I heard about, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, so that's how Funky Little Beat was the first song that I actually professionally recorded.
What was the studio? A big, large warehouse, you say?
The warehouse is where the distribution center.
Oh, okay.
The party's still going and all my friends, they're ready to go. Turn around, though I smile at you. That's when you shine down, forget just what you want to do. I've been late, obviously what I want to do to me. Why can't you see it's so easy? You and me just rocking with the beat.
But in there was the studio, the professional studio with the board, and all that good stuff. And that's where Henry Stone had his office, okay?
How's the conversation go with Henry Stone?
At first I didn't meet Henry Stone. I met Amos. And then Henry Stone just came in for a second just to look at me. And I just said, oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, good. He's very serious. He's the executive producer, he doesn't talk much. Oh, okay.
I want complete imitations of their voices, too. So give me how the conversation goes down, okay? Just Stevie D. Lundy from the Force MDs kept doing Tommy Boy's voice. It was hilarious.
Well, Henry Stone's very, very deep voice, and I do, almost like a gangsta voice. I can't do that. But anyway, it was like a gangsta. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, you like this little song here? Oh, okay. All right, I'll see you later. And then he just walked away.
What do they do? Okay. They play you a demo?
Yes, and I'm like, oh, whose voice is that? And Amos goes, oh, that's my voice. Like, wow. Wow. It was a little girl's voice. It sounded like, I don't know how he got it to that point, but I guess they have their engineering ways of doing that.
Where's a copy of that? We need to hear that.
Oh, I don't know. I guess Amos destroyed it. He put it in a fire pit or something. I don't know.
Is Amos still alive? I know Henry Stone's passed.
Absolutely. Amos is still around. He's still doing a lot of Miami-based music.
Sure.
And Actually, we recorded an album last year. It did well on iTunes and all that good stuff. So.
All right, so Connie, we're there. We're in the office after Amos leaves, and Henry Stone says,
Actually, I just left.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a call back in about 2 weeks later, and Amos is like, "Oh, Connie, hey, do you mind recording a little bit? We want to hear what you sound like, blah blah blah, whatever." I'm like, "Okay." So I went over and he gave me a demo, and I took it home, practiced, and then went back. And I recorded Funky Little Beat.
How many takes?
Oh, a few. It can get tiring. Yeah, do it again. And after they were satisfied, they're like, okay. And then they called me back. We want to now do it one more time. And we did it. And then he's like, okay, we're going to release it. And then I'm like, okay. And, they're talking about all this. We're going to release it. And then, locally, and then we'll do it nationally. And I'm listening to all this, and I'm going, yeah, right. Even though it was Henry Stone, okay? But in my mind, I'm like, I can't see that happening. But, okay, I'll just nod and go, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, great, wonderful. Because I had heard so many stories about things they do with their vocals and all this that I really didn't believe it, So I'm like, yeah, okay. And I totally forgot about it. Just kept going, to my little college classes until they called me back. They wanted me to sign a contract.
What do you mean they do stuff with your voices? Were you not happy with the way you sang that song?
No, that's not it. What I mean is they can get your vocals and put another girl to perform with your vocals.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, all this other stuff I've heard.
You don't know what the hell's going on. You come.
So you don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, they'll use your voice. They don't need you anymore. They got your vocals.
I want to get to know you better. Seems like we both belong together. You rock my body like no one did. Rocking in the streets to this funky beat. This funky beat. Just you and me. Rocking in the streets.
What year?
That was 1985 that I recorded Funky Little Beat. And what they did is sign the contract, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're going to, what was it? It was WEDR. That was an R&B station.
We're going to select a winner here for the 99 Jams Instruments.
It's a black sounding station is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, but Funky Little Beat is really, it started off as an R&B song.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
My picture was not on the cover of the single. Okay?
Why'd they do that?
So
you're an attractive gal.
Why'd
they do that?
That was on purpose, so everybody thought it was a black girl singing it. And I'm like, okay, great, whatever. And there was no picture on the single. It was just, a white cover, and that was it. And it said Connie, Funky Little Beat, and that's it. So R&B, anyway, EDR started playing that, a little clip of the song on one of their commercials. And I think it was like a Captain Krabs restaurant or something.
That's illegal.
And, yeah. Well, they did. And they would, oh, come, blah, 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 Captain Krabs or whatever, and then with Funky Little Beat in the background. And that's how it started. And then after that, then they started playing, EDR started playing heavy rotation. First light rotation of Funky Little Beat and then heavy rotation. And that's when other stations started. The
playlist watchers.
Yeah, they started playing also, Funky Little Beat. Oh,
EDR's an influencer, and everybody says, oh, look at this, what's it? It makes the music meeting and all that, yeah.
So everybody started jumping on the bandwagon and playing Funky Little Beat, and it really did amazing in Miami. And that's where it started. And then that's when, I get a call from Henry Stone.
Well, down here in Florida right away, I got the record played on the radio immediately,
we want to sign you so you can go nationally. So I had to sign another contract with Sunnyview Records from New York. And that's when it went nationally. It went national, and that's when California got a hold of that sucker.
And that's it, right? That has to be the launch, California, right?
Oh, man. And that's all I needed. California. Right. New York, yeah, a little bit.
No.
Texas, yeah. But California, up and down California, I have traveled so many times. Those are such loyal fans, and to this day.
Are you coming through here soon?
Modesto.
Yeah.
I'm going to San Jose, October 27, and then October 28, it'll be in Modesto. Up and down, all of California, LA, Monterey, Salinas, Stockton.
You're a local.
Oh, my God.
I grew up in Manteca, so you probably drove through Stockton, Modesto and go, really? There's a town called Manteca?
Oh, my God. Gilroy. Smell that garlic. Oh, my God, I still love that.
Would you live in California, or are you a Florida girl?
I would love to live in California. I really would. But, man, is it expensive.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. But, you know, the people there are so nice to me. And we're like family. I have become such close friends with a lot of the DJs over there throughout the years. And we've been friends for 20 plus years. And when I see a lot of the fans, they come up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, I remember seeing you in San Jose and Studio 47 and this and that." And
you were a hot 97.7 gal, weren't you, down in San Jose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Christopher Lance. Christopher Lance had a hair like Beetlejuice. It was like that.
Takes me back to when I started. So I did rhythm radio. I heard you first on KUOP, which is the University of Pacific's college radio station hip-hop show. That it was Royal Cash, Radioactivity, and Connie, Funky Little Beat, and Jam On It from Nucleus. Those are the three songs I remember.
Oh, yeah, Jam On It.
So much. You know, they're, of course, your label mates. Cosmo, your label mate. I had him on the Rewind in episode 2, a real nice guy. I see Salt and Pepper. Did you dress up like Salt and Pepper? Did you have a friend? Did you guys do your little shtick? You did more in high school with music than you're telling me, I think, or those high school years. Tell me about, did you ever try to do a group or a...
So I always wanted to be a solo artist. And I was just trying to develop myself into just being that, you know? Did I have friends and go to clubs? And absolutely. Did I wear the big padded shirts?
And jack your hair up real high and use the aqua net?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I didn't have to do much because I had a lot of hair.
An original hair bear.
Yep. Yeah, and I loved it. And it's too bad that it went away because I would do it again, let me tell you. Now it's this flat, you'll have to be with a straightening iron flattening your hair. Oh, no, I would like to just let it go.
Information Society, what's on your mind? You said that was a song of interest to you.
I love that song.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
I can still, like whenever I hear it, I just jam it. Something about it. I don't know.
Pure energy. Pure energy.
Madonna, was she an influence? Who's your biggest influence?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day when I just started, I wore the lace with the little bra that you can see through and the big, the gloves, the lacy gloves. And
I wore the nylon bracelets for criminy sakes.
Yeah, the bracelets.
You make a little spider web on the top of your hand from each finger and connect it over. Huh? That's right.
Yeah. But see, I would put a lot more I'd go heavy on the makeup, the eyeshadow. I'd almost look like a bat. One day I was performing and some kid goes, "What is she, a bat?" And I gave him this look like, "Yeah, baby, I'm a freaking bat."
Did you lighten up after the kid said you look like a bat, or did that make you put more on, a darker bat?
No, I enjoyed it. I kept it on. I kept doing the same thing. Because I would even put glitter, I would even put glitter on the eyeshadow there. It would really look really...
David Bowie-ish.
Yeah, bold. Like, don't mess with her.
Salsa music growing up in the house, was that your influence?
Yes.
Or am I being stereotypical?
No, salsa, definitely salsa. Yeah. A lot of Celia Cruz back then also.
Desde pequeña pude sentir dentro de mí la guaracha.
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember my mom having a few albums from Celia Cruz, and she would play it a lot.
Were you a record player kid? Did you grab the records and play them? Did you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was the old ones, too, that was almost like a piece of furniture.
Sure. Maybe even 78 speed, huh?
You know, I would love that so much that now I'm into antiques, and I have 3 different phonographs. I have a phonograph that's on a cylinder. I don't know if you remember those old ones.
I do.
But it's a cylinder player. I have that. I have a gramophone, and then I have a phonograph. Oh, my God. I love to hear that. The records are hard to get.
Yeah.
When you hear that, I love it. Some people hate it, but I just love it.
If I'm ever out and I see some of those kind of records, I'll make sure I grab them, and we'll make sure I get them to you, Connie, now that I know you have one of those.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Seriously.
Thanks, yeah.
What's the first record you ever bought? Was it this one right here?
Oh, yeah, on the radio. Remember on the radio?
Of course. I'm 5th grade. What are you?
Oh, hell.
8th grade? I'm got to be 6th or 7th. You got to be 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, about 8th grade. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Someone found the letter you wrote me on the radio.
That goes back to the original slow dances uncomfortably at school. Now, you better not get too close to the girl, you know. On the radio was happening. And
on the radio, MacArthur's Park.
All of that. Love to Love You, Baby, Hot Stuff, Bad Girls.
Hot Stuff. Oh, she was amazing. What a beautiful woman. And what a voice. So clear, you know. And I remember she rocked it when she performed the duet with Barbra Streisand. Oh, my God. She was just amazing. Amazing. And I was so sad when I heard that she passed away, you know.
I think the whole world was. We lost a legend on that day.
So young. So young.
Diana Ross, my favorite song is I'm Coming Out.
Yes.
That's mine.
Mine too.
I don't go back early.
Because it was during that time. It was during that time, yeah.
From that,
yeah.
Just that era, man. That's the jam.
Yeah.
I'm Coming Out. That's
and
one
her
of those.
with the big hair and that flowy hair that she had in the videos. That was awesome.
Man, I'd put that 45 on and I'd lift the handle up and bring it back over to the needle so it would just repeat. There was nothing to drop. It would just come over and go back, you know, until it had the bacon sound on the front of it, you know, from playing the intro
right.
too much. Cher was an influence. That sounds odd.
She was. Why is that?
Well, I mean, just because she's such I wouldn't think that would be in your wheelhouse. You know, you're more probably in that you said Donna Summer, Diana Ross vein. Cher doesn't really fall in that vein.
Well, remember, Cher was around for way before.
Right.
I must have been a little kid when I was watching Sonny and Cher.
Right. That's one of your variety shows you're referring to right there.
Right. So I was like, I would just look at her and, you know, and when she would perform, oh, my gosh, to me, that's a diva. That's a diva that has been around for so many years. What a legend. And I remember I got chills when I went to see one of her farewell concerts. One of her many farewell concerts. It was the Cirque du Soleil. And I remember the first song, she came down on a chandelier, big fur coat. I was sitting there in the audience going, oh, my God, she's freaking amazing. And she was older already, okay? She must have been in her 60s. And then she sang Turn Back Time.
If I could turn back time.
And she wore that little lingerie, that little teddy. Oh, my God, what a body. That's all I got to say. Wow. And my husband couldn't blink. I'm like, blink already.
Your eyes are getting dry. Did you get to see Believe?
Yes.
Oh God,
yes.
I respect Cher and everything. I Got You, Babe is one of my favorites, right? Because I'm from the 70s. But that Do You Believe song is one of the most incredible songs ever. That was incredible.
So she can still jam. She can still outperform anyone. And she even said in her concert in the beginning, she goes, well, I know there's other divas like, what's her name?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. That's it. And everyone's like, no. She goes, what? I've been in this business 40 freaking years. What do you want from me? And everyone's like, yeah, we want you. We want you. I love her.
Do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough, no. Do you believe in life?
I think if I would ever meet her face to face, I'd freeze. I go,
Who did you like to tour with back in the day? You've got a list of probably now the New Shoeses and Stacy Q, Sarah, Lisa, Shannon, those. Did you have favorites back then, or wish you would have been out with somebody, or were surprised to be out on a tour or open for somebody that was different?
Back then we did a lot of clubs. We really didn't get to perform too much with a lot of these other artists. Now and then I would run into a few, like the Cover Girls, super nice girls. Loved working with them. I performed with Jermaine Stewart, very nice man.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't believe the words I love that and I'm beginning it on the words that you and I love that you and I love that you and I'm beginning it on. So come on, baby, won't you show some class? Why you wanna move so fast? We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no.
Morris Day.
How was it to tour with The Time, or was it Morris Day solo?
It was the whole group.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was nice. Nice group of guys. I remember opening up for Menudo.
Menudo in Florida. Woo.
Just as long as you hold me and you tell me all the sweet
Opened up for Cool in the Gang.
that this love is through. Feeling the pain, girl, when you lose. Oh, it's too hot, lady. Gotta run for shelter. Gotta run for shade.
And actually, when I opened up for Cool in the Gang, I didn't know it at the time, but I was pregnant.
You didn't know?
I didn't know, no. I didn't know until after I did the test. Oh, I'm pregnant. Is that too much information? Anyway.
I'm a man of age. I'm good. I've been married a long time. You can say whatever you want, and I'd keep it right there subjectively.
Okay.
So I love Madonna, Sugar Hill Gang. I think you're like me, Nucleus. What was, while you were hearing yourself on the radio, where'd you hear yourself first on the radio?
I was driving to one of my college classes.
Which class?
I think it was maybe anatomy.
Okay. Yeah.
And I heard my song. I'm like, oh, shit, that's me. Oh, my God. And I remember I got to the parking lot, and I would always talk to the security guard there. And I put the window down, and I go, that's me. And he's going, really? And I'm sure he said, you're right, lady. Just keep driving.
What station was it?
It was EDR.
Funky Little Beat takes you all over the world and probably continues. Are you still traveling worldwide?
Yes.
Do you make more money across overseas?
No. A lot of Brazil. A lot of fans from Brazil. So no, I do that, but I stick more to
Costs so much to go over there. You got to stay here, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Funky Little Beats, huge success. When it's out, are you pretty much invisible because your name isn't on the shuck of the record, so you're able to walk around and nobody knows? When did you...
Well, no, because once I recorded the album, that's when they decided to actually place a picture on it. By then, Funky Little Beat had already taken off. So they're like, okay, we'll put a picture now of Connie on there.
My wife goes, does she have red hair? And we punched up a Google image of the album. I only had the Sunnyview. That's all I can remember playing Connie.
Right. So at first, it wasn't Sunnyview. It was Nez Records, and it was just a white,
That's regional, probably.
Right. in Miami.
Yep.
Because they wanted to test it.
Right.
And then when it did really well, then we got together with Sunnyview, and then Sunnyview's the one that actually placed the picture for the album on there, and that's me with the red, looks like red hair and the lace gloves.
Did you find it crazy that breakdancers and poppers found it? Is that the kind of song you thought it was going to be?
Like I said, no, I didn't think it would take off like it did. No. I thought it was a cute song. I liked it. But I'm like, what do I know? It's got that.
And they've got you in the dark on top of it, so you really don't know the process.
Exactly. They didn't know, and they didn't want me to get involved. Like, he made it very clear. You just sing, Connie, just sing. I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of backed off. All right, I'll let them do whatever they have to do.
I want to get to know you better. Seems like we both belong together. You rock my body like no one did. Full force, lots of care. Prep to the rhythm as I stared at the way you move. Lots of class as you stomp and grind. I like that move, boy, you've got that groove. Rocking in the streets to this funky beat. This funky beat.
So, yeah, I was fortunate because there's a lot of artists out there that, they performed and they recorded their songs, and either they decided to get somebody else, like I was saying earlier, to perform the song with their vocals.
In tandem.
Or they would have a group and say, okay, no, you're asking me for what? More money? Oh, no. And they would get rid of those girls, and they would get new girls. And then the new girls would come and perform and re-record all the songs that were already had taken off with the other group. So all these sad stories that I had heard. So I wasn't too, I'm like, I would like to perform. I would like to perform for many years. I remember just actually being there, watching some other performers performing, local performers, and I'm like, wow, I would love to be on that stage. One day I want to be on that stage. So I'm fortunate that I've been able to not only do it then, but still do it now.
Did it die down for you a spell and then the internet revived you? Or have you constantly been touring?
Well, yes and no. It did really well in the 80s, and then in the 90s came around, and then the music changed a little bit. And then by then I was about 27, 28, met my husband, got married, moved away on purpose, needed to get away, be my own woman, per se,
Could you walk around your hometown? Were you that popular in your hometown?
No. No, they wouldn't know who, no.
Hey, that sort of sucks.
Not really. Because, freestyle is kind of restricted. It's not, oh my God, it didn't become like a Casey and the Sunshine Band type of thing, that I was all over the place on TV and, all these things.
You're the beginning of rhythm radio. You opened the door for Cover Girls and Sweet Sensation, and I'm
glad you recognize that, because there's a lot of people that don't recognize that, and they think that all that came from New York.
No.
So I'm glad that you recognize that. Yes, it did start in Miami.
Yeah, that's.
Thank you for saying that.
All of that, and I'm a fan. Like I said, I'm a fan of the format. I'm a fan of rhythm. It was a big fight out here to get that type of music, which. Frankly, I had general managers say, we're not going to play that black music, and here we are. We got the Cover Girls, and it's just somebody got jaded over it and thinks that you're going to play one, you're going to play another. Well, that was happening, and they wanted to kill it like disco, and they couldn't kill it. And songs like yours are seminal to the movement. You, Lisa, Wonder If I Take You Home. I mean, there's just a few certain select records that defined the whole genre for the rest of the little girls to rip you guys off. Not to say that Expose is another great band. That's all Florida stuff. What I didn't know, speaking of Florida, I didn't realize that the Two Live Crew wasn't from Florida. Now, did you know that?
I think they're from New York, right?
No, they come from California. Luke promoted Mr. Mix and the Egyptian Lover, taught him how to do their 808, and he went out to Florida, and Luke rented an 808, and Mr. Mix and them had been training in California with him, and he took it to Florida and stopped being a promoter and started being part of that's where the Two Live Crew came from. I always thought they repped Florida. Egyptian Lover set me straight on that. Have you ever toured with the Egyptian Lover? He's a good guy.
No, but we performed together.
You mean touring? You mean you toured with him?
Yeah, touring.
That's
Not
what I was
wedding.
saying. Yeah, that's
No,
what I was
no.
saying. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, like around the California area. I don't remember exactly where.
Yep.
There's even a picture that I posted on Facebook, and we're both signing autographs.
What was your second single?
The second single was, I believe it was Rock Me.
Rock me tonight. Rock me tonight. You move your body along.
What a sound. These guys had a great sound for you. So how's the process difference in Rock Me after doing Funky Little Beat? Do you know a little bit more about the business, or is something different?
Well, obviously I found a little bit, I was more confident when you say you record the other songs.
Chops. Your chops are getting better.
Yeah, exactly. There was a good chemistry with Amos and myself. We were the main ones that were working constantly together to get that sound. Henry obviously was in the financial, aspect of it, promoting. Amos and I, up to now, we have awesome chemistry. Whenever we record anything, it just works perfectly because we get along well, and we're like a brother and sister.
After Rock Me, what's the next single? Is that Experience?
Experience, yeah.
Experience in making girls love with his eyes. And that's a fact. The experience is right on time. Is what I like.
Now, this is the thing I was going to say. Funky Little Beat went nationwide. Then what they decided to do is they had a single, two-sided, Rock Me for the West Coast. I don't know why. And I Can't Stop.
I can't stop living.
'Cause I love and didn't know that.
I can't stop looking.
For the East Coast.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Rock Me it blew up in California. Believe it or not, I don't think the East Coast got too much of that. They didn't really get to hear Rock Me that much because what they love is Funky Little Beat in the East Coast and Experience. Experience was the third single. And California heard all of them. Rock Me, Funky Little Beat, and Experience. And they just jammed, and they jammed. And they went down the strip with their lowriders jamming to Funky Little Beat and Rock Me.
Remember the mini truck culture here, like there was in Florida too, probably. You have the beaches and stuff there. Mini truck culture was big here, and you popped right there in the middle of the Egyptian Lover time and the car separates out here in the West Coast. That was a big thing, having, 4 8s or 2 10s and an amp. And that was all culture that was big time in San Jose, especially. And I think that's one of your big draws then, is because that was mini truck music.
And I performed at a lot of the car shows.
Larry Gonzalez.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What song are you most proud of, Connie?
Definitely Funky Little Beat. Absolutely. That's the first song I ever recorded professionally, and it just it was a blessing to me. It took off, and I've been able to become friends with so many people, have loyal fans that love me even now after all these years. Just to meet them, and that's why I like to do a lot of clubs, because when you're performing in arenas, you don't get to see them or talk to them, and they're there to not only see you but other performers, and that's it makes sense. Okay, so you just have your 10 minutes and move on. I love clubs because of that, because you actually get to speak to them, take pictures with them, sign autographs, and they share stories with you, and that's what I find thrilling. So definitely Funky Little Beat. That's the song.
What song is playing in your head when you're walking down the street? I asked Egyptian Lover that question. He said Egypt. Your walking music in your head. It could be, a Good, Bad, and the Ugly whistle. Or is it a salsa song? Or is it a conga from, or something?
No, actually, it was the song Running. I think it's Information Society, isn't it?
That's your theme song. When you're walking down the road, Running's playing in your mind.
I love that song. Yes.
aspiring artist coming up in the day, it's a completely different business now, and
my God.
with the iTunes and hardly making any money. What would you say to a young gal that wants to get into the business now, even though you didn't have to get into the business now? What would you say about following your dream? I mean, because it's almost like you weren't really planning to be a singer, and you showed up to you started to do that, and it's been the rest of your life since you answered the ad. Or
I believe in destiny. I believe that when you're a child, there's something in you, and that's what you will become. There's a little idea in your head, like you were, wanting to be a DJ.
That's right.
I had that little idea about something that had to do with music because it just I was very passionate. So if it's your passion, you need to just don't let anyone say that you're not good enough or you don't have it, because you need to just ignore them and continue focused on what you want to do and have that image in your head, and it will happen. It will happen. And, as a matter of fact, there is someone that's related to me that has gotten to a point where I'm very proud of her. I don't know if you ever saw American Idol, but Emily Pierce is my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she performed. She was one of the finalists. When her mother would ask me, hey, I'm like, look, the business has changed so much that I couldn't tell you. It's not like before.
You got to have some money to travel and do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, before, they would get your image, and they would even try to show you choreography. They would take the pictures for the album, for the promo shots. They would do the whole package. Now you need to come with the whole package and hand it to them. It's a different ballgame. Royalties, good luck. I don't even know how to.
Man Parrish broke it down last night to like 0.00000025 per stream. And, Man Parrish he's got millions of downloads, and they get, some kind of little check for $5,000 or something,
Mm-hmm, right.
That's crazy.
Right. So it's so different. But if you're passionate about it and that's what makes you happy, even if it means going out and just performing somewhere, just to be seen, you never know. You never know. There might be someone out there that can help you, get you out of the crowd, pull you right out. That's all I can say. I wish I could say more, but just if you are confident about what you are and what you're doing, that's number one. Don't let anybody shoot you down, because there's a lot of people that are out there and they love shooting you down, but no one's there to encourage you, and you have to encourage yourself.
Connie right there. Connie, we're going to play Funky Little Beat here to end the show. Promote your appearance in this area. I don't like to locate myself, but this is a originating show from California, and you're going to be through here in the next few weeks. Tell me about where you're stopping again and what dates.
I'm going to be in San Jose on the 27th, and then on the 28th, it's in Modesto. And I believe the club is called CR2. If you go to ConnieMusic.com, I have a website, and you can find all the information there. There's pictures of me, there's my whole bio, and all the performances that I've done in the past and will do in the future.
Yeah, and Connie, do you have any of those lacy pictures from back in the day posted on your website?
I look a little different now, but no, not too much. Not too different, but no, we don't have the lace.
Hey, I'm going to try to get by there.
Hey, at least the album picture's there, okay? The album with the red hair. Yeah,
yeah, my wife goes, she doesn't have red hair. I said, that's a red light.
Yeah, probably was.
Thank you for being on my show. There's the first female on the Old School Rewind, and a seminal freestyle track, Funky Little Beat, playing now. Thank you, Connie.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Thank you. All right, man. It was a lot of fun.
That's when you shut down. Forget just what you want to do. I've been late. No, obviously, what I want to do to me. Why can't you see it's so easy? You and me just rocking with the beat. That funky beat. Just you and me. Rocking in the streets. Rocking with that funky beat. That funky beat. Rocking in the streets. Rocking in the streets. 2 o'clock. The party's still going on. All my friends, they're ready to go. You turn around. Oh, I smile at you. That's when you shut down. I give you all these clues, and you still don't know what to do. And you still don't know what to do. Rocking in the streets to this funky beat. The beat, funky little beat. Funky little beat. That funky beat. Funky little beat. Rocking in the streets. Rocking in the streets.
You've been listening to the Old School Rewind with Randy Bubba Black. Share and subscribe now at oldschoolrewind.com.